Before moving on to the next speaker, we'd like to share our sponsor video from Femtex. Welcome back. We have our second speaker today, and she is Maki Onishi from O+H Tokyo. Let me first introduce her. Maki Onishi engages in a wide variety of activities centered on architectural design, including installations and community building projects. She founded Onishi Maki and Hayaka Duyuki Architects, or in short O+H, in 2008 with her partner Yuki Hyakuda. Both Onishi and Hyakuda are currently visiting professors at Yokohama National University. Hyakuda was employed earlier at Toyo Ito and Associates. Among their architectural and art projects are the Shuyuji Temple Bell Hut, Hiroshima, House in Setagaya, Tokyo, Taga Central Town Hall, Shiga, Japan, House H, Tokyo, and the Good Job Center, Kashiba, Nara, Japan. Onishi and Hyakuda have received several awards, including the Young Architect Award, Architectural Institute of Japan, the Grand Prix Architectural Design Association of Nippon, and the Swiss Architecture Award. Without further ado, let us welcome Maki Onishi from O+H Tokyo.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Maki. Thank you very much for inviting me to this wonderful event. Today, the title of my lecture is Architecture, a Place of Mind. And let me introduce ourselves. Our office is called O+H. I'm doing our office with my partner Yuki, who is my husband, and we used to be classmates in Kyoto University. And I went to doctor course at Tokyo University, and also I'm teaching at YGSA, Yokohama National University, where Kazuyo Sejima and Rue Nishizawa and other many famous Japanese architects are teaching together. And Yuki went to Toyo Ito's office for 5 years, and he joined our office, and we're now working together. And for us, we had a great Tohoku earthquake and tsunami in 2011, and that was a big influence to us because right after we started our office, we had a big earthquake, and we had a chance to go to the Tohoku area to do a volunteer, and that's why we have our office in downtown area in Tokyo. This is our office. Talking about communities, I have to start my presentation by introducing our office. This is our office, totally open to the town. Before coming to this office, this is our last office. It was in the 5th floor, and we were very far from the town. But as I told, we had an earthquake in 2011, and I had a chance to go to Tohoku area, and I stayed there actually a half year in this temporary house to build a new community for children. And this is a kind of a community space for children, and it's movable, and small houses are gathered together to make a place for children. And when I did this project, I stayed in temporary houses for a half year. And I was very surprised because when I tried to explain architecture to local people, it was really hard to explain. I was learning architecture in university, but the words that I was using in the university is too complicated to local people. So I thought it's really interesting to have a discussion with local people and have to grow up the idea together. So that's why we decided to move our office to this area. This is office when we came here. It is a downtown area in Tokyo, and there are a lot of craftsmen and old people. And our office was a garage, and we only had a shutter, and so the office is totally open to the town. So sometimes children come to our office to see models. Actually, we renovated this office about 3 years, and now my sister is doing a flower shop on the ground floor. So our office is an architecture office, but at the same time, it is open to the town, and everyone can come anytime to see models and to have a discussion. Sometimes we have some lecture in our office. This is a lecture by Ryue Nishizawa, and everyone came to see the lecture. Okay, so the first project I want to introduce is a working place for people with disabilities called Good Job Center, Kashiba, in Nara. This is a building like this. And the client is a kind of a group who had been working for people with disabilities for more than 50 years. And this is their original atelier. And when I visited this place, I found this place is really comfortable because, for example, you can see here is a big table, and 2 people are working together. And this is a small table for people who want to be alone. And there is also a space just behind this wall. There is a storage, and the people who really want to be alone, there is a space for him. And this is a guy who is taking care of the members, but he's also an artist, and he's drawing his own art in this atelier. And when I saw this situation, everyone can find their own personal space, and I wanted to learn from this. Hi. This is the concept that we received from our clients, and the words is very important to us, so I would like to read. Acknowledge the differences, cherish the differences. To distinguish the differences between each person, cherish these differences and aim to create an environment where good distinctions can grow. It is necessary to properly understand the characteristics of human in order to create a comfortable living environment based on such understanding. Art illustrates the differences between each person profoundly, allowing these differences to stand out and transform into visible materiality as individuality. People who gather here, with or without disability, can coexist with one another as their true self. To create an environment where everyone can believe in their own potential and can make the most of their abilities. When I received these concepts from our clients, I think this words is not only for this project, but also for all other projects we have. This is the first idea for this place. We were trying to make a forest-like space like this. And we had a lot of discussion, and because this is a revised plan, and we discussed about 1 year to make some changes to the idea. For example, they don't want to have big windows because it is too hot, and they didn't want any void space to reduce the budget. And finally, we got to this idea, and we were very satisfied with this idea at the end of 2014. But when we look at this plan, we thought it's just a normal building. So we found, we had a lot of discussion, but now this building is not interesting enough. So we changed the plan again, like a more simple plan, like a one room idea, and all the things are like movable textile and movable walls are from above, and we can separate the space temporarily. But we found that idea is not interesting again, and we came back to something like this, like a forest idea again, because we would like to make varieties of spaces. Oops, sorry. And this is the idea, the final idea that we made. You can see there are a lot of spaces in this building. The rule is very simple. We started with this kind of idea, combination of walls. But when we have many discussions, sometimes they said they would like to make more space, and sometimes they want to have a small space, and then these simple rules became more complex, and so we don't want to keep these pure geometrical rules, but we want to use placemaking rules. And this rule is interesting because when we put walls like this, sometimes the wall separates two spaces, but at the same time, the space can be connected because there is a gap. And in this building, actually there are 4 different types of people with disabilities. And in Japan, usually we have to separate in 4 rooms for 4 different types of disabilities. But when we visited the original atelier, the difference of types is not so important. Actually, we are all different. So we think this typology is not suitable for the place. We think it's more natural to have this kind of typology. This is a model. You can see here is a low ceiling place, a bit dark and very comfortable. And the other side is more big space, and there's big table for people to get together. And also you can find a desk for one person, and one person's space, many people's space, some resting space, some shipping space. A lot of kinds of spaces are in a same building, and you can feel the atmosphere of each other. And this is what we made. And you can see it is a wooden building, and there is a lot of type of walls. This is a wooden wall, and this is a wooden wall painted in white. And this is kind of a furniture, but also it is part of the wall. And we have stairs, floors, roofs. Many elements came together in one room to make variety of spaces. And you can see, for example, there is a big table for people to get together. This is a craft space to concentrate of crafts. And here is a shipping space, and here is an office. And each person is doing different thing, but they can feel the atmosphere of each other. And usually, actually, in this kind of working place, a painter's or artist is more fashionable job to do, like this space. But there is also a person who are good at shipping, wrapping everything and shipping everything. And sorry. So we wanted to we wanted to make a place that every person are important. Every job, every person are important. So that's why we made this kind of space. So this is the plan. And maybe the battery is okay. This is a road, and this is the main entrance. There is an office and cafe and gallery and craft space here on the ground floor. On the first floor, there is a shipping space and also a shop, so that you can buy the goods from them. This is a cafe open to locals, and this is a bench, so people can wait for bus. This is a cafe. Members who has disabilities can work here, and also local people can have lunch or cafe here. And this is a shop, and many goods from themselves, and also many goods are from other welfare facilities. And this is a craft space, like this. They are making a lot of kinds of crafts here, like this. They're using digital fabrications and also using their hands. This is also what they're doing. They are making silk here. Actually, this is original original worm for silk, a Japanese original type of worm, and it is very small, smaller than Chinese one. So now almost only emperors are raising this original type of worm because it takes too much time. But in this, people with disabilities in this building has slower time. They have much time and they working very slowly, and I think it is a possibility to to maintain some traditional technique to pass to the future. This is resting space. You can see there's an office next to the resting space, and you can see the people in the office are very concentrated on their study, but people on the left side, they are resting, relaxing, and I like these photos very much. And this is a sign, original font designed by members. This is also oh my god. This is also a lampshade weaved by them. And you can see from outside, each places are very characteristic from outside. Hi. The next project is a working place, also a working place office for a contractor in Yamagata Prefecture. The city is famous for cherry trees, and also the mountains are so beautiful in this place. The site is abandoned cherry fields, and actually the clients tried to cut all the cherry trees because they wanted to have a bigger parking lots. But when we visited the site, we found the cherry trees are really beautiful, even they are abandoned already. So we decided to make the office inside the cherry trees. This なんだろう。なんかダメかもしれない。これ使えなくなっちゃった。This is a client. Client first didn't understand why we need to have an office in cherry fields because it needs to be taken care, and it is very hard to maintain all the trees. Oops, sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's okay. Only. Okay. Thank you. ありがとう。はい。This is a client's father, and first he didn't want to have his office in cherry fields, but finally he thought he decided he himself will take care of cherry trees because he is almost retired, and he put this table inside the cherry trees to have a meeting to allow us to make an office in the in the cherry fields. Okay, this is a diagram of the office. There is a cherry garden, cherry fields, and office goes like a network inside the fields. And also there is, because the client is contractor, there is a material field, parking area, and also open space for local communities. This is an image of inside. There is a lot of type of working place inside the building. This is an interior image. And now we are building the place like this. There is a cherry trees here. This is also now under construction. And this is an image of the area. You can see there is cherry trees and some old people who retired from the office can help to maintain the cherry trees. So children also can come to have their homework or to see how people are working here, his father or mothers, or how their parents are working here. And also people are making architecture. Some materials come here and everyone can see. And sometimes we cook in the trees. And also there is some lecture space outside to share the knowledge of craftsmen. And we think thinking of working place is very interesting. Working place is not only an office, but also a living space for local people and for workers to have their life. So when we design an office, we try to make a kind of world that can exist in this area. Hi. Next project is residential incubation place for young people. It is in Kyoto, like this. In Kyoto, street is very interesting. This is a traditional paintings, rakuju rakugaizu. It means inside and outside Kyoto. You can see there are a lot of activities in the streets. And streets connects inside the house. This is a traditional machiya. And there is toriniwa. Toriniwa means streets garden. It means inner alley inside the house. And it is connected to the streets. And you can use waters. There is sometimes there is kitchen or bathroom. And we thought this typology is very important in Kyoto. This is an image of different scale of streets in Kyoto. This is the size of Kyoto. And there is a city wall. It does not exist, but in the image we have these city walls like this, made by Hideyoshi. And many old highway coming to Kyoto like this. And if we concentrate on streets, for example, this is an old highway, and now it connects to big streets, and then there is a small alley, and then there is a inside alley like Toriniwa that I showed before. So when we see streets from architectural scale to city scale is connected. So we started from that idea. This is an old highway and our site is here. We did different buildings just next to this building, but today I would like to introduce this building. And this is connected to the old highway, and the site is very narrow and long site. And this is a traditional machiya typology. You can see this is a street, and there is tori-niwa, inside alley, and there is a garden. And then the wind come through the tori-niwa, and also lights and winds can come through. So this is our site, and we put tori-niwa inside street alley in the center, and then we put garden, inner garden, to a very high rise void here so that winds and lights can go through. And also this is a residential incubation space. Many young people live together for 4 months to share their ideas. So we put their rooms here, and we put windows so that they can share the activities. This is the model. This is a old highway street, and when you enter here, there is a big void, like an inner garden, and also there is a garden, and wind can go through the tori-niwa. So this is what we made. This is tori-niwa space, and you can see there are a lot of windows from the rooms, like this. So this is also tori-niwa, and like a good job center, some handrail, some beams, column, windows, floors, many elements came together in one space to make various spaces. This is a meeting space for everyone. This is a working place in the middle of the corridor, and you can see the lights coming through the top light. Hi. The next project is Taga Community Hall. It is in the mountain area in Shiga Prefecture, and we made 2,500 square meters, very flat, one-story building as a community center. And in this area, mountain is really beautiful, and so that's why we took this kind of mountain-like shape for the community center. This is the image of the town. 80% of the town is a forest. And so we are asked to use this kind of local wood as a material. This is also a local house. Actually, this is my grandfather's house. And you can see this is a warehouse, and this is a main house, and this is a roof, and this is a wall, and you can see greens. And in one facade, you can see many materials, many elements in a facade. And inside is like this, and spaces like this. There is a lot of small garden. So dark space, bright garden, dark interior space are layered in interiors. This is a plan of local house, and this is the main building, and then it was expanded one by one, and the place is really complicated. But they put warehouse. The orange part is warehouse made by clay to protect from fires. So to separate each part to なんて言うんだろう。to take care of fires. So this is a community center that we designed. We learned from the idea of local houses. This is the main entrance, and the plan is like this. And you can see the orange part is like a warehouse in a traditional house. This is fireproofed area to separate wooden part into 3. And also the common space is very big. Usually this kind of community center, they don't have much common space because they rent this kind of meeting space. But we put a very big common space, and there are a lot of small spaces inside, like a traditional house. This is the image of interiors. You can see this is a common area, and here is tatami corner, and this is a bench corner, and there is a small library, so that local people can come in everyday life. And this is what we made. You can see we used a lot of local materials here. And this is a roofscape. And many elements came together in one space. And this is a entrance hall. And from high side lights coming in. Like this. You can see a lot of spaces, bench corner, counter, table space, like this. This is also a library space for children and study space for high school and junior high school students, and also for elderly people. And this is a bookshelf. And we also have a hall for 300 people. And this is a textile, original textile, designed by local myth, local story. And because we wanted to use local wood, so we needed 2.5 years to prepare all the wooden materials. So we had a lot of time to discuss. So we thought, usually architecture is like this, like UFO, but we use local material from the mountain. From the mountain, the trees takes more than maybe 50 years or sometimes 100 years in the mountain to grow up, and then the material come to this space. I think it is better to celebrate with local people to have their own space. So actually we did a lot of things. We had a lot of meetings with local people, and we also made this kind of free papers to give all the families in the town to share the information of how we discuss and how we make the place. And this is the opening day. You can see this is a very small town, and now the population is very decreasing. But at the opening day, so many people came to celebrate their own space. For example, this lady is my friend, and she decided to research local food during the process of this building, and she decided to ask elderly lady how to cook local food, and she decided to make this kind of local food for opening ceremony. And you can see we did a cafe at the opening ceremony, and children, junior high school students, are also helping us to do the event. Hi. The next project is also in Yamagata Prefecture, local north part in Japan. Also, mountain is very beautiful, and the rice fields are also beautiful in this area. And this is a playground that is open to all children, regardless of background and nationalities or disabilities. This is the image of the playground. And the process is really unique because usually when we design an architecture, architects make the design, and then we meet operator, and then we meet a contractor. But in this project, at the beginning, we made a team of operator and site manager, like contractor and local advisors and architects made a team to make a design together. And this is how we did a meeting. And at the beginning, from the beginning, the site manager, every time when we have a meeting, site manager came to join the meeting to understand the concept and share the information. And we grew up, we raised the idea together. And when this is a playground, inclusive playground, and to make the place more inclusive, we focused on asobi. Asobi means a feeling of play. For example, this is a slope, so that children on wheelchair can go up the mountain. But also, slopes looks like a kind of a playground, a kind of children. Slope can be a place for children to run up or sometimes run down. So if we can find several meanings of one element, they can be more inclusive, we thought. This is what we mean. This is the main entrance. We have gym in the middle, and we have playground here. And there is rooms that are needed to be closed. And there is 3 belts here. And we connect gym and playground by slopes. And inside, outside are also connected by slopes. And a dome-shaped roof covers the main spaces. And 3-dimensional curved truss roof takes the thrust from the arches. And the roof is really rigid, so it transfers all lateral loads onto the concrete structure. This is how we made. It is now they're making the ground floor. And this is how they did the structure. This is a wooden arch. And this is a mountainside area, and we had a lot of snow. And it was really hard to do the construction. But because we raised the idea together with contractor and operators, we did a very good construction because we were a good team. So like this is the entrance. When we enter the entrance, first you will see the gym just in front of you. Usually a gym is surrounded by high walls and become very closed space, but we made it half underground to connect to the entrance hall. When you visit the building, you can see variety of people playing here to understand the concept of the space. Playgrounds are connected by slopes like a hill, and you can see a lot of people are playing together in one space. Not only children, but also adults can play together. This is how they're playing in the space. This is a bench for the parents to sit, but also it is a kind of it can make sounds, because in this place a lot of children with disabilities come. So 5 senses is very important to design the elements. You can see 2 handrails on both sides of the walls. One is normal handrail, and the other is playful handrail with wooden balls. Children who usually don't use handrails would notice the existence of them. On outside, there are also slopes as playgrounds, open to everyone. You can see the roof, the relationship between roof and the mountains. Hi. Like this. The last project I introduced is a project in Bangladesh. Now we are trying to make a factory, bag factory in Bangladesh. This is our first meeting in Bangladesh. When we did a presentation of our models. The client is called Mother House. The name of the brand is Mother House. Mother is from Mother Teresa, and house is house. So the client is a Japanese woman who is almost same age as me, and she went to Bangladesh to start their own brand to make a good community with Bangladesh people. And in her brand name, there is a house. So we are trying to make a factory like a house. So when we went to Bangladesh to have a discussion, we asked them, what is a house-like factory? And we Googled to translate into Bengal language. And because I live in Japan and they live in Bangladesh, maybe some part the image of the house is same, but the other part is very different. So we wanted to learn from the discussion, and we found very interesting things when we had a discussion. This is an image of the factory. You can see there is a place for people to work, and also this is idea from the Bangladesh people. They said they have a pond in their house, and they have a fish inside the pond to eat. So I put pond inside the factory, and this is a children's school. So children can come here to learn during their parents are working. And there is also a prayer room for the people to pray. And we use local material like brick, and this is a grass. and lights coming and wind coming out. And you can see not only human but also animals are living together in one factory. This is an image of the factory. We are a bit slowed down because of the COVID, but now we are starting again with this project to make a good community. Okay, this is my last slide. I think now the world, our world is changing from the world like this to a world like this. For example, this is, I think, the image of universal design. A large ring that expands from a single value to include us whole. But now, then, in this type of view, we cannot recognize who is in the center. But in an inclusive point of view, we concentrate on one individual, and then when we concentrate on one individual, there is a small circle, small, なんて言うんだろうsmall ring, gathering of small rings covers all over the world, and then we can find who is in the center. Each ring has each individual, and we would like to make an architecture to celebrate this kind of situation. はい。Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maki.